Okay, so this is week 9. So transdisciplinary approach for sustainable development. We want to integrate different types of areas of knowledge that is possible for us to solve the issues related to the sustainable development. All right. There are lots of terminologies in this week's lecture. However, I hope if you don't understand anything, please come and also see me to explain it further. Okay, so at the end of this lecture, you are about to understand the disciplinary perspective. They understand the interdisciplinary. What do we mean by multidisciplinary, and what do we mean by transdisciplinary? So these are the 3 main things that we want to see, and how we can integrate this different system of thinking, or different system of approaches, so that we can handle the issues later on. The third one, we want to apply this approach, especially the transdisciplinary approach, for the sustainable science. And of course, this is related to the issues. So what is it to do with the different kuliah in our university? Okay, being partitioned into several fields of knowledge. Okay, in the academics, or the academicians have a certain specialty in the topics or subjects, like you are. Okay, you are the students of knowledge. You are in the marine biology course, for example. You have the computational and theoretical science. You are from the mathematical parts, pure physics. You are the biomedical science. You are a pharmacy students. So why is it important? Why this discipline is important? Okay, and what is the most relevant in our kuliah, okay, in our faculty, and in fact in our small department. Okay, we have a different students, of course. Okay, or inside the kuliah we have different departments. Why we are, being partitioned like that? Why being segregated? Why is it? Okay, what's the purpose of this? Can someone answer me? Rabiatu, you there? Nurabiatu, are you there? Hello, everyone. I think today's class is not that effective because I cannot see someone is answering my question. Please, if you can turn on the camera, or else we just cancel the class, because I am not receiving good participation. Hello, where is everyone? Can you respond to my question?
Yes, Doctor.
Anyone?
Doctor, do you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So this discipline is the most relevant way for all courses, because in order for us to achieve it, we need the cooperation from all peoples, regardless of their future future job. Yeah, okay. Because only if, for example, like if only science people understand this, but for example, like business people doesn't, so it still doesn't work.
Okay, thank you, Auni. Abdul Rahman, what do you think?
I think, can you hear me, Doctor?
Why do you think, why do we need to create a university with different disciplines? Like we have kuliah of IRK, we have ICT, we have engineering. Why?
Because every person, we all have different interests in For example, like some people are interested in physics, but it's not good in biology, so therefore they can only study with physics. Some people they cannot understand bio, but they can do math, so they study in math. So with various options, it allows all people to participate in the desired discipline.
Okay, very good, Abdurrahman. Means that people have different capacity and also different interest in pursuing their studies or in which area they interest most. And this can include like lots of things I have listed here. Some people love to study marine biology, okay? Some people love to learn about the public health. Some people more towards the fisheries, towards the forest management, okay? Some towards the management side of it. So there are lots of discipline, and we cannot say that, you know, your subject is more relevant to the others. Okay, you cannot say those who are studying or pursuing laws, they are better than those pursuing medicine, because each of discipline are unique and they have their own contribution. Like you, some of your friends studying physics, pure maths, calculus, and this is important for them to solve a certain complicated issues related to the calculation. You are more on marine biologies. Perhaps you're going to see about the depletion of, algae population inside the ocean, okay, inside the river, how you can manage this. So this is, different ways of people doing different people doing different things, and we cannot say the other is not important. Okay, to answer which discipline is the most relevant, you have this answer. Okay, the answer is on you. For example, the what we call the nearest example, and this in one of our newspaper, the online version, where Sungai UIM dipenuhi lumpur, alam tercemar lagi. So this is been, more than 20 years, this issue since IIUM was established, where people have seen this quite frequently in our own campus. Why this is happening? We keep on, mentioning that our university is an award-winning university for sustainability. But how about our own river that we cannot tackle? But we cannot solve the issues of, pollutions, and also the river become murky. So this is due to the human activities. As I said previously, this is the anthropogenic origins, where people used to uncontrollably misuse the land, and also take some of the land, or the what we call the sand, and I mean for the profit purposes. Okay, so this is the exploration of the ground that is leading to the pollution in our river. Okay, so our river in IIUM Gombak is kind of an indicator. If it turns yellowish, if it turns orangey or muddy, so it can give an indication that something is happening on the upstream. Okay, some humans, they're trying to do something on the upstream of the river. So this is kind of indicator, and we know that this is always happening because there's no other way that people can avoid it. Another question, if you take this into consideration, if IIM river is one of the issues that you want to solve, from your mind, okay, from your view, which discipline is the most effective solution to solve this murky and also muddy river in IIUM? Rafida?
Doctor, can I share my answer?
Yes, you can do that.
From engineering perspective, engineer can think about the solution by creating and making research about machines that can clear or helps to clean the river. They can use more technologies that eco-friendly to save the environment. And from the law's perspective, they can charge and fine the contractor because harm the environment and social around Sungai Pusu Gambak based on the legislation or law that is been established by the country.
Very good, Nurul Ain. Perfect answer. So we have engineer, okay, to come and also see how they can maybe sort of manipulating the machine to filter out any dust or any stones that are leading to this murky river. And from the other perspective, the lawyers as well, especially the enforcement unit, maybe they can go and also see what they can do. If 50 ringgit, is it affordable, or maybe we can increase the compound so that people can get lesson from it. Okay, and of course this is not possible, you know, within IIUM only, because IIUM people, they are academician, they are not enforcement, or they are not government. So IIUM alone is not possible in order to tackle these issues, and instead it needs to be, they need to work hand in hand with the local authorities. Okay, the like a Majlis Pembandaran, Majlis Pembandaran Selayang, for example, the nearest one. Okay, these are those pihak berkuasa tempatan. Okay, those authorities that can, you know, help us in solving the issues. Okay, so again, the question is, who is the main player and what is the interest? Do you think who contribute to this muddy river in IIUM? Nas, do you have any ideas, any thoughts on that? Because this is happening like almost more than 20 years.
What's the question again?
The question is there on the slide, the bottom one.
Who is the main interest? Main player, and what is the interest? Oh, I think everybody can be the main player, because everybody could affect or could influence the condition of the river. For example, like other people, like ordinary people, if they just go there and just visit it respectful to the nature, then it will be nothing happen, then it's fine. But if they litter, or do something that could affect the environment, then also it could affect the river. And also the big player that could really affect the river, of course, the uh, what call that, pemaju, or the developer that want that overly uh, destruct the place. Developer lah mostly.
Very good, Nas. So that's the real. It's not only in Sungai Pusu IIUM. Most of the places that when they want to build a building or they will start a construction, declare them as a construction site. There are lots of lodging, okay, lots of cutting the trees, and this is sometimes, okay, once the project has been approved, okay, by taking into consideration the local authorities views, and they started this. Sometimes this is what we call unplanned implication. Okay, this is unplanned because we don't know the way that the water's been passage through the downstream river, so we don't know the way or the flow of the river. But there are lots of people, like a developer as well, they do this intentionally, means that for gaining some of the profit, then they cutting lots of trees, and they they try to dig down the ground and also collect some of these sand, and they can sell this sand again for money. So there's not only cutting trees and sand, but these trees and sand, as a reservoir for the water to hold, okay, to stay and maintain the ecosystem. If you destroy these things, okay, with lack of knowledge, lack of plant science, for example, maybe lack of environmental knowledge, so you will take all these resources and then just proceed with the activities. At the end of the day, you don't even know that this is implicating people down there. Okay, so what really is happening at the upstream level? So it's kind of giving you a picture what is really happening. Of course, there are lots of developments going to happen upstream of Sungai Pusu. People want to have more place to live, where they want to create lots of houses, and this is happening at the top, at the higher level. You can see from the circle with the red circle here in the red, and you can see IIUM just down there. Okay, it's quite near. Okay, Mahala Rukaya, Salahuddin, staff quarters. So this is quite top of the hill where they want to start with the development, and this is happening like on and on, okay, without limits. So as one of your friends say, like Nurul Ani saying that, okay, we can manipulate the engineering part. Okay, we can also enforce the laws and regulation, by consulting a specific specialist. One of those things are those people who are good in river science. We have this branch of knowledge where they can stop this from happening by collecting all these waste and start to clearing the river. And also we call it as it's a rehabilitation of the Pusu River. And these, can you see the image? This is the real image coming from, okay, the right image, the top and bottom. This is the real image where we can see the lots of pollutions, sediments deposited into the ponds. This is happening quite early at the upstream of the Pusu River. Okay, so by using engineering, you can make a machine to collect all these things. Okay, excavate all these waste, what we call this plastics, from the activities of the humans. Okay, from human activities, you can clear it off. So about the enforcement, about the marine biology, maybe you can do some sampling there, collecting and checking the quality of the water there. All right, so this is what we have done in Sungai Pusu, and in fact they are all these UNGS students. All right, they are those environmentalists. We bring them to this Sungai Pusu and then see, using their own eyes, whether the water there is clean or not. Okay, what is your effort? Even if it's a small effort, this is also considered as a reward in the eyes of Allah. In the curriculum, okay, in the university, this is where you are learning about the engineering, okay, about the river science, about the legal issues. Maybe some of the computational, you can make some prediction how to, to calculate the impact of this pollution to the river. What is the Islamic perspective? Maybe the IRK students. All right. So maybe you say that this is, course-centric perspective, but it is not, because you as the marine biologist, you can also learn about the engineering part. You can also learn about the Islamic perspective. You can, read about the legal guidelines, how, this enforcement come into action. You can learn about the IT. So there's no border between this discipline. Okay, it's up to you. So we want to inject this to you. We want to see that even though this is, you are a marine biologist, you are a computer scientist, but you are lacking the engineering part, for example. But IUM is addressing the issues. We want you to know how to solve these issues. And if you don't know how you can collaborate with other people of knowledge, okay, this is what we call the transdisciplinary, or some of the literature, they call it the same, but they are different between multi and transdisciplinary. How about the interdisciplinary? So this is all the different system of knowledge, this different system of thinking that people can differentiate or people can integrate into the way of their, in solving the problems. One of the question, how would Department of Irrigation identify the problem? Okay, so this is the government part. Okay, the government side. And how about the IUM researchers, those academicians, your lecturers, or you yourself is the researchers? How can you solve the problem? As I mentioned previously, you should work hand in hand with the government. You cannot solve this problem on your own, because on the upstream, Sungai Pusu is no longer belong to IUM. Okay, we only have the privilege to look at our own river inside the campus area. Okay, the outside is not belong to us. It's belong to the Department of Irrigation, Department of the Land. Okay, so what will be the community perspective? You also need to consider the local communities. How about the businesses entails there? How about the business activity? Are they also affected due to this? So it goes back to the parable, like a dongeng, cerita dongeng from the Indian. I think this is originated from Indian people, where they give what we call an example of the six blind person. Where's another one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a 6 blind people. Okay, you can see one of them saying, okay, go to the front and just look from the anterior view. Okay, and saying that this is elephant like a snake, because he can feel it. Okay, this is like a blind person. Okay, all of them are blind. So this is, when you approaching the elephant from the posterior, from the back side, you say that, okay, the elephant is like a rope. Okay, those from the bottom, from the inferior, he say that, okay, the elephant is like a tree trunk. How about from the superior? He said that elephant is like a brush. How about those people who just touch the poop? Okay, the elephant poop, and say that elephant is soft and mushy. So, people have a different perspective, okay, using their blinded eye. So they cannot see really from the helicopter view, from the eye, from the bird's view or the bird's eye. They have a mononuclear, okay, yes, mononuclear view. So they can see only with one single eye. Okay, of course they can touch it, but they can make predictions. Same goes to us. All of us, are blinded, because we don't know what are the other people's are doing, what are the other people's perspective. We are only, hanging around with our friends, with the same areas of study. Okay, we don't mingle around with people from Gombak campus, for example. So you are in your own world. You are, in your own circle, without addressing the expertise of other people. So this is important for you to know what are other people can help you. How can they help you to solve that issue? Because to understand the elephant, all of them, of course, they need to be, they need not to be blind. Okay, they need to see the whole perspective, not only a portion of it. Okay, so you need to understand, appreciate, and also recognize other people's perspective. and at the same time enhancing your own discipline. You need to understand the inter, multi, and transdisciplinary, and how we can approach, how we can practice this transdisciplinary. And how do we segregate problems in the world? Okay, some of you might say, okay, we can differentiate the problem based on the areas of knowledge. Maybe if it's a finance, okay, we let these economic student do and solve the issues. Maybe if it's coronavirus, okay, pandemic, maybe we say that people like virologists and also people from the public health, epidemiologists, let them do the job. Because if the problem arises from the climate change, for example, as we discussed earlier, maybe we look for environmentalists. Are they enough to solve these issues on their own? So that's why the system thinking arise. Okay, the different way of thinking. Previously, like in the middle one, we have issues. Okay, we have issues like there's the closest issues like COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19. We know that COVID-19 should be tackled by different ways of different types of discipline. For example, you have a discipline of field like practice A. I can give example like pharmacology. Okay, you can use the pharmacology, the drug intervention in order to treat the pandemic or respiratory problem based on the sign and symptoms. And then you give them vitamin C, maybe as a supplement. You give the ivermectin, okay, if it's allowed. Okay, you give a vaccine, for example. So this is like a pharmacology, okay, practice A, okay, in the middle. And then maybe you need to integrate some of these feel like virology, microbiology, how to develop, the vaccine, how you can see the effect of these mutation, maybe genetics in the field of practice B. Okay, so you're combining two different fields, but they are still in the medical science. Okay, they are still in medical research, so you call it interdisciplinary. Now, if you combine practice A, pharmacology, and also practice B, genetics, so it can become like pharmacogenomics. So this is like interdisciplinarity. Okay, pharmacogenomics, and then when you integrate them, you can solve the issues or the problem with the COVID-19. So this is the example. But if you look at the left-hand side, you have a multidisciplinarity where we have involvement of a different set of discipline. Like in Kuliah of Science, you have people from physics, you have people from biotechnology, you have people from plant science, you have marine, you have chemistry. So all of you with your own perspective or with your own specialty, you come into one group and solve the issues. For example, you can address the issues of deforestation. Okay, maybe if that's related, or climate change, or greenhouse gases. All right, about the CO2 utilization by the algae. Okay, it involves all these Kuliah of Science expertise. Okay, so this is one of example. How about transdisciplinary? Now, this is the one that we want to integrate nowadays. Inter and multi is the one that is previously described, okay, maybe more than 10 years before, okay. Now we are shifting towards the transdisciplinary, where we cross the borders, okay, not only from the Kuliah of Science, but people from Kuliah of Economy can come and intervene. Can people from Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Law can help you in making the policy. From architecture, okay, they can design the plan, okay, or the map. From the education, okay, they can come and also give advice from the education perspective. So this is what we want to see. You are crossing the border. Okay, you're crossing the boundaries, the limitation that has been provided, in order for you to solve the complex problem. Okay, it's not longer only problem situation like inter and multi. They are only problem, but transdisciplinary is the complex problem. Okay, that includes the never-ending problems. Okay, this is the long-term problems or predicted problems that gonna rise in the future, or they are not solved for many years, like Sungai Pusu. Okay, so this needs the involvement of some or other areas of study. Okay, so if you can see from the box, the disciplinary is just one oval. Okay, multidisciplinary, you have a multi-area or discipline. Interdisciplinary, where you combine this knowledge together. Transdisciplinary, where you are taking a global view and also integrative approach to solve the complex problem. Okay, so this is another what we call illustration. Again, it needs to be involved the government, academics, civil society, which is the community, and also the industry. They are those main players in the transdisciplinary. And if you say government, just like Sungai Pusu, maybe they can formulate the policy. In the industry, maybe they can provide service, how we can maintain the integrity of the soil. R&D, we need to do some research in the university. Okay, maybe they come out with a spin-off company, or maybe with a machine that can collect all these, polluted water and turn this into clean water. Collaboration, you need to develop, what we call PA, which is a participatory research with the community. And so you see lots of errors here and there, means that they are crossing the borders, they are crossing limitations. And that goes back to the quadruple helix that we have learned in the previous week. The involvement of not only triple helix, okay, triple people or triple entities, but beyond that, okay, we need to involve government, industry, academics, and also the community. We integrating or putting the community inside the quadruple helix. Previously in the triple, we don't have the community or the people. Now our concern is the people surrounding our community. Okay, so I will share you some of the video for today. You can, of course, you can have this later on, but let's have a look if I can. This is a very short video for you to see, to watch. Let me share the screen.
The United Nations has defined many good agendas for the world, but this is the most comprehensive one we ever saw.
Don't believe last century's myths that there are laws of economic motion, that inequality has to get worse before it gets better, that pollution also has to get worse before it gets better. It's not true.
Only if business really engages in this, then only we will be able to meet those ambitious targets for the benefit of this planet.
Humanity finds itself at perhaps the most exciting and challenging juncture in its history. The Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, are a part of the 2030 Agenda, and they can be seen as a vision for how we want to share the Earth's resources among what will soon be 9 to 10 billion people, all with a right to development. This makes the SDGs relevant for every person, country, and company on Earth.
because this is just a calculation. It means that it needs to integrate these 4 main elements in order to achieve these or to solve these complex problems. Okay, you can see from the chart. Okay, so if you look at the percentage of these students that studying, this is, I think this is around 2020, where people are measuring the amount of PhD holders, masters and bachelors based on their areas of study, and you can see that the environmental science is one of the top what we call top courses that has been offered, and also this is the most popular one. In terms of the masters as well, okay, of course the bachelor in green and in orange, lots of people are doing that. Environmental studies, okay, natural resources, okay, sustainability also there, okay, system energy engineering for the environmental sciences. This, you know, recapitulating what we are discussing. Okay, people are more concerned about saving the planets nowadays, like the courses that you have enrolled now, like a physics or computational, and also the marines. You can use your knowledge for the benefit of the community, whatever it is. Okay, the world has problems, but university have departments also, you know, means the world has problems, but when he mentioned when Bro mentioned that the university have departments, actually they are referring to the solution. Okay, it means that university have lots of brains like you to solve the complex issues. Okay, this is just another graph, a bar chart to show the finance, accounting, computer science, okay, mechanical engineering. They are the top 5 degrees in demand, okay, towards the end. Means for the 2030, towards the 2030 agenda. So why do we need transdisciplinary approach for sustainable development? Again, we need to tackle like different plethora of complex issues. We can increase our understanding on global and complex issues, again, to stimulate synergies, okay, to support cooperation or collaboration. What are the implications? If you look at the Sungai Pusu context, if we integrate this transdisciplinary approach as a way of system thinking, then, you know, we can see that IUM will also involve some political bodies to change or to enforce the regulations related to the management of the river. The community also can be engaged by IUM. You know, we can use them as the people who can notify us if there's any issues or any forbidden land being treasured. So we have these business people who know the limit of their profit. We have the government. We have, you know, hand in hand work with all these people in the quadruple helix, the QH-based action. Right? So this is again another video for you to understand a bit detail on what is a transdisciplinary approach.
We need to work together to solve all the problems of the world right now. All of them, and climate change is a global problem.
I am from Uruguay,
Canada. Soy do Brasil.
Guatemala,
Michigan, USA.
Ecuador.
Bogotá, Colombia,
Jamaica.
de Cuba.
Soy dominicana. Nací en Santo Domingo.
The problems humanity is facing, from climate change to natural disasters, have many, many dimensions. And so the problems are requiring us to work together to provide solutions.
Acho que o mundo enfrenta hoje vários desafios, né, no sentido de melhorar os aspectos ambientais, sociais, econômicos, Eu acho que uma das grandes mensagens que poderiam ser passadas é no sentido de abordar esses desafios de forma conjunta, de forma integrada e de forma com que as prioridades sejam atendidas, né?
We believe that doing transdisciplinary research gives us the ability to solve those problems.
So how do we do transdisciplinary work? The first thing is we sit on the same table, scientists and non-scientists. So we frame the question together, we frame the problem together, and we communicate the results together.
And in order to do that, it has to be communicated in a language that will be understood by all. And it needs to have a communication strategy that makes sure that we are not just sharing information, but that we are actually applying the information to develop the solutions we need.
So you need a lot of different disciplines and a lot of different stakeholders to really answer that problem. That's why we need interdisciplinary teams and transdisciplinary teams.
Porque da la posibilidad de intercambiar con un grupo de científicos, de productores, de empresarios y de jóvenes talentosos de toda América, y nos ha dado la posibilidad de formular proyectos de trabajo conjunto, de abrir puertas de intercambio, de conocer nuevas experiencias, de dialogar sobre los problemas que tenemos e de proponer soluções.
Esse seminário ele é bem interessante para mim, porque no meu trabalho, eu trabalho exatamente com essa abordagem transdisciplinar para resolver problemas globais. Então, eu tenho que todos os dias engajar com diferentes atores, diferentes setores, então, academia, terceiro setor, setor privado e também várias disciplinas.
We have the opportunity to learn from local experiences and from other countries to recognize what do we have in common, what are our differences, and how we can benefit to address the issue in a regional scale.
Whenever you study a complex system, human beings being part of it, you have to realize that different groups of human beings will have different values, different culture, different ideas, and you have to try to take everything into account, and that becomes very complex. But it is important. The world is now the way it is, basically because a small group of people usually don't listen to a larger group of people. And so basically, we need, as human beings, we need to learn to listen to others. And especially as scientists, we need to realize that not everybody thinks the same way we think. And so whenever we go out to try to understand a complex situation, we need to first realize that we're going to have different voices, we're going to have different groups with different ideas, and we have to listen to all of them to be able to get a better picture of what's happening.
Okay, so this is like a summary to the one that we have discussed. Like, you know, it goes back to the sixth blind person where, you know, people have a different perspective and different way of thinking. Okay, we have a different values, we have different system of thinking. Okay, based on our what we call not belonging with, based on our upbringing. Okay, based on our upbringing, this is the things we need to address this and appreciate what other people's are doing, and also how this can be better communicated. So let me go back to the slide and share the screen again. Okay, so you not already understand about the disciplinary perspective, inter, multi, trans, and also you need to apply this transdisciplinary approach for the sustainable development issues. Okay, we have moved on, I mean, with the multi and also interdisciplinary for the what we call the previous development goals. Okay, but for the SDG, we focus on the transdisciplinary because the pressing issues now is more global, and maybe you cannot see it right now because you're still studying, but we have this course for you to think, because when you're doing your research, when you're doing your FYP, maybe you need help, and have also one view that it is not possible for you without, you know, the help of others. Okay, you cannot stay alone. You know, the honorable rector keep mentioning this. You know, we want to prevent people from, you know, doing research in silo. You want it as a collaborative as possible. So this go back to the IIUM 7 missions, where we want to integrate the knowledge. Of course, you already done that because you are in marine biology, in physics, science, computer science. You already learned about these environmental issues. So the UNGS, okay, UNGS is also another discipline where you can address those issues. Because if you keep on learning your knowledge, okay, your academics, and score for it, but you don't have the sense of belonging. You don't have, you know, you don't know what is your contribution to the society. You don't know that. So the UNGS is another discipline for you to say that, okay, I know where I'm heading to. I know how can I contribute. Apart from that, the Islamization, okay, this is all the other 7 missions of IIUM. And we talk about the approach where we want to integrate and solve the issues using the system thinking. You know, the sustainability science, okay, it's been first coined in the World Congress, where the challenges of a changing Earth 2001 in Amsterdam, organized by International Council for Science. However, the concept in practice can definitely be traced far back in ancient history. So it's not okay, it's not started in 2001, but in fact in the ancient early history, where very civilization, and it's been accustomed, you know, in their traditional practice and also indigenous knowledge, where they use this for a long-term goals. Okay, they already make this happen. We are now like recapitulating or repeating what those indigenous people has done before. And that certainly the concept was given new momentum. Of course, we need to include some spices, you know, with the emergence of the technology and also science. Then we try to add some more good you know, elements to it so that we can address these issues. Okay, and of course it contribute to the transdisciplinary approach. That's why if we look back in our Muslim scholars like Ibn Sina, Ibn Jazari, okay, Ibn Rushd, Al-Haytami, okay, so they are all these Muslim scientists. They are not restricted to only one type of discipline. Okay, they are open. Okay, they are expert in various kind of field. They don't put a partition for a human being to know something. So they don't partition between, or they don't you know, create segregation between science and religion, for example. Okay, so they already cater this issue beforehand. Ibn Sina can become a medical doctor, but at the same time a religious person. Okay, microbiologists, at the same time they can become optometrists. Okay, they can become those astronomies, but at the same time doing surgery. So lots of things, you know, they have been integrating in their life, and they do not put any limit. Okay, same goes like you studying science, but you are now limiting yourself from getting the information from Islamic. If you you know, tell other people, give tazkirah, okay, and people might say that, okay, you are not ustad and you feel inferior to do that, which you shouldn't do, because as a Muslim, or even if you are not Muslim, this set of knowledge is not unique or is not granted to anyone. Okay, it's for everyone. Okay, it's not specific to a certain people. Okay, you can say that you are marine biologist expert, or you are environmentalist, or you are a physicist, you are a mathematician. Okay, but you're now putting yourself into only one specific field. Of course, you can become expert, but it seems like you are disregard other people's other areas of knowledge. So that's what we want to do, is that while you are learning your courses, at the same time, try to gain knowledge from other disciplines. Okay, so that you can see the real elephant. Okay, if you're studying only marines, okay, you only know about the trunk of the elephant, for example. If you're studying physics, mathematics, you only know about the tail structure. So we want you to have the helicopter view of what is really the problem. All right, that needs the sustainability science. Okay, so the field use inspired research and innovation like agricultural science, health science, marine science, plant science. These are all the if you want to know whether they are sustainable or not. Okay, environmental science. Okay, so this is all the topic or the subject. Fundamentals of the sustainability science application of transdisciplinary approach. It's a problem-driven approach. Okay, come up with the problems. Of course, there's lots of problems nowadays, and you focus on the interaction between your human natural system by integrating multiple forms of knowledge. We already discussed about this. This is only the application, how you want to approach them one by one. All right. So sustainable science, another video. I think this is the last video. Sustainability science in action to stop haze. Okay, this is one of the example. Okay, so this is one of the example it's okay, you know, if the haze, okay, it's only, you know, happen in your country, but it become an issue if it's, you know, spread to the other countries, and that's where we want to have a, you know, consensus and agreement. Okay, like Sungai Pusu, if they want to do the development, okay, but if they, it's okay if they did not, if they want to do the construction there, you know, it's totally fine. But if it start to harm other people or give problems to other parties, that is where the issues need to be overcome. Same goes like the haze, you know, in Indonesia, and it goes back to Malaysia. Okay, it goes to Malaysia, and this is very important for us to address this issue by having the Asian, okay, Asian, where all these regional parties from different countries in Asia, they can sit together and formulate what is the best solution. Okay, of course we have an agreement with with Indonesia, but what happened if something bad happened? Okay, like people in Malaysia also have the effect. Okay, like maybe they have also respiratory problems, and this is become the national issues. And of course, this is where the transdisciplinary need to work hand in hand. Okay, the ethicists, the bioethics, or the environmentalist researchers, activists, they need to sit together between these two countries and, you know, speak the same language so that other people can understand and solve the complex issues, right? So this is just one example that I can show you. Okay, example of transdisciplinary approach for environment and development. Of course, we need to develop, right? But at the same time, we are compromising the environment. Okay, lots of the endangered species, you know, have lost their habitat, and how we can address this. Okay, but we need to develop. So how is that possible? And the answer is the transdisciplinary approach. Okay, the complexity can be resolved by multiple forms of knowledge, okay, which is applied based on the problem-driven approach. Economic growth and sustainability, questioning the pattern of growth. Also, we have the issues like lack of resources, natural resources, mineral insufficient, water, land, where people, you know, strive to achieve higher living standards. So how we can use these, you know, economic context or economic what we call it as a green economy, where we can address these people that are unfortunate. Things like renewable energy, low carbon transport, okay, energy and water efficient building, sustainable agriculture, forest management, and fisheries. So these are the elements or the things that we can handle the issues. Okay, we can tackle the issues with. And for the social concern, for example, for the well-being of the people, how we can use the transdisciplinary approach to still consider the social implication and at the same time improving the well-being. Okay, we are killing the bird with the same stone. Okay, we're killing the two birds with the same stone. So how we can do that? Okay, there goes the transdisciplinary system of thinking. Okay, engagement question: how can engineers, social scientists, lawyers solve issues of climate change together? I think this is the last question I will ask. Anyone want to share their thoughts on this? Shifa, where are you? You are now a transdisciplinary person. You can migrate to other people's room. Here you go. Okay, Shifa, now the question, how can engineers, social scientists, lawyers solve the issues of climate change together?
Kalau engineer, dia boleh buat alat-alat tu. Kalau social scientist, dia boleh.
Alat apa yang engineer tu nak buat?
Alat apa? Alat. Boleh apa?
What is the engineers can do to solve the issues of climate change? What type of machine?
Tu. Kalau air kat sungai tu kan, boleh buat alat untuk filter je tu.
What is climate change?
Pula. Apa Sabar. Climate change. Climate change tu. Yang karbon tu semua tu kan. Lepas tu suhu-suhu tu kan.
How the engineer can help to solve these issues?
Kenapa aku blur ni?
Don't be blur. Why you feel blur? Okay, social scientist. Maybe the question is difficult. Okay, I reduce the level. Okay, social scientist.
Social scientist.
No, the lawyers.
Lawyers tu dia buat undang-undang kan? Dia buat undang-undang. So kalau
lawyers don't
buat undang-undang? Bukan. Dia tak buat undang-undang. Dia entahlah, tak faham dah. Lawyer buat apa?
What do lawyers do to solve the climate change? Anyone can help Shifa? Shifa still sleepy.
Anis.
Try, Doctor.
Okay.
I think engineering can do can build electric car, so the carbon dioxide can reduce.
Okay, I give the example before. Okay, in the slides before. If you look it back, okay, you can find the answers. Okay, Zahira is saying that electric car. Yes, correct. Mur, you want to say something? You want to say something?
Can I try to answer this question?
Yes.
So, from my opinion, for engineers, we have the technology to solve the climate change. For example, we have solar panels, we got wind turbine, but the only problem that we have is the cost. So for engineers, I think they need to find a solution to create a new technology that cost us low than before. So maybe we can have a solar panel that costs low, so many people can afford it for each of their home. So by that, we can mass produce the technology, so we all can contribute to reduce the effect of climate change around the globe. So for social scientists, they need to actively do awareness campaign for them to raise the awareness of community
to address the danger of climate change toward the society. And for the lawyer, of course, lawyer can create a new law, but they need to enforce the law. They need to bring the bad guy. No, not bad guy. Like people that do the things that contribute to climate change to the court, to bring justice to them. So that is my opinion for how engineers, social scientists, and lawyers can contribute to solve the issue of climate change together. That is my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mil. Very nice. Okay, so you have this relation. Let's say the issues is with the emission of greenhouse gases to the air, okay, to the atmosphere. What are the other things? What are the other aspect, or what are the other people that can help to solve this climate change instead of engineers, social science people, lawyers? What do you think?
Politician.
Okay, correct. Politician. Nas, do you have any idea, Nas?
Of course, there's a lot of part that can affect this climate change, and of course climate change is a world issue and is a very is a global issue. So every part of every field have to do something with the climate change. So if we just put to engineers, social scientists, and lawyers, of course these three field are the main part that play with the role of controlling the climate change. So if you're asking me the other part, yes, I would say politician too, because every decision of the country or every decision that may be done is always through politics. So if there a politician or politics, what we call that corruption, of course they would affect the climate change. How? It is through when there is project that want to make a big project, and then the scientist or the engineer knows that if we don't reduce this and that, it would cause to the climate change. But with the politics and the corruption, because of the money, they would ignore all the things and just proceed the project. So that is what we are facing now. Reality. Yes.
So maybe you see, if you look at only one complex issues, when it's complex, maybe these only 3 people is not enough. Maybe you need 100 expertise in address, because the climate change is a global issues, and of course, before you collaborate with other people, you need to start from yourself. Okay, so there goes, you need to put yourself there. If you are marine biologist, you need to put yourself there and see how you can contribute, not waiting other people to come and see you. Okay, so you should start from yourself. How is the marine life is important in controlling the climate change? That's the second question. How you can use your marine knowledge to control or to solve the issues with the climate change? Anyone? Wasnin? Do you have any idea? Wasnin is marine biology. Marine? No. Are you computer scientist?
Yes, I'm from Marine Department.
Marine, okay. Wasnin, how what's your role in this climate change? If you finish after 4-year undergraduate studies, what do you think you can contribute to the society or to IIUM, for example? You don't know how to contribute. Not yet. Maybe you're still thinking. Okay, still thinking. Abdul Rahman? Abdul Rahman is from CTS or from Marine?
I'm from CPS.
Okay, from the physics or from the computer science perspective. Now we have the computer scientists. How do you think you can contribute to control the climate change?
I think it might not be an immediate solution, but by spreading awareness through the social media or through the internet, from blogs or vlogs or whatever. So when people come across by those let's say like a post about the danger of the climate change, then it will, maybe people will become more aware about what is happening in the world, because nowadays we're living in the technology era where almost everyone, you can say everyone uses social media, uses internet. So by spreading awareness about the climate change issue, so people will get to know about what to do, what's happening, how to prevent, and so on. That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you, Abdul Rahman. So that's why we have this UNGS. We want you to think what is your contribution early in the first year, so that when you finish your study, you know where you are heading to, what field that you are going to, what institution, what department, or are you going to become, open your own spin-off company, okay, make a new business, or you want to become a takaful agent, for example. Okay, so this is, the things that we want to see. But from the perspective of computer science, maybe you can do some programming, okay, work hand in hand with the engineer to make an mobile apps, for example, and you can measure the CO2 level in your local area, for example, in IIUM, or maybe in our pilot plant in Kuliah of Pharmacy, where they used to formulate and make tablets or drugs. Okay, so this is the things that you want to do. Okay, apps, okay, anything that is, using the technology is important nowadays. Hang on, I have one important phone call. Yeah, wait, yeah. Okay, so again, these are the things that you can do. For the marine biologists, maybe you can understand how you can convert or can manipulate certain enzymes inside the bacteria so that they can produce more oxygen, or they can convert the CO2 into an oxygen. And this has already been done here. Okay, so this is the things that you need to look at your subject, your discipline, your topic, and do the best in your subject, and after that you can contribute, because after you die there's nothing that you can contribute anymore. Those people who read your papers, those people who gain benefit from your apps, that is where your reward can continue. Okay, we are not only focusing on the worldly gain but also the afterlife. I leave you to watch this video from the United Nations. It's kind of not a summary, but a conference they can give you highlights or insights about the transdisciplinary perspective. Let me show you this one final. I cannot what do we call, cannot show you this video. I think this is not a video. So the issues that we want to discuss today: what is the problem from the disciplinary perspective? What is the problem? What is the solution from your own discipline? And what is the problem and solution from the transdisciplinary view? Okay, we want to position where is yourself there and how you can integrate your knowledge to the perspective of the transdisciplinary. Edward Wilson, one of the Western scholars, say that the greatest enterprise of the mind has always been and always will be attempted linkage of the science and humanities. The ongoing fragmentation of knowledge and resulting chaos in philosophy are not reflections of the real world, but artifacts of scholarship. Okay, in consilience, the unity of knowledge. It always goes back. What you know, whether you get a very higher position, higher marks in your study, you become a rector list or dean's list for semester, but how much your contribution to the society, how you can benefit the people is the main goal. All right, because if you go the best university in the world, MIT, you know, Yale or Cambridge, Oxford, whatever it's a, yes, for the, you know, in front of people, you can say, you know, you have achieved a certain performance, but later on you will see whether you are capable enough to help them, you know, really in the real life. How can you translate? How can you move yourself and, you know, move give the, you know, knowledge transfer to the people? That is what we want to see. Because if you're not able to do that, if you just scored in your study, it's reflecting the artifacts of the scholarship. It's the fake one, because you cannot even contribute to people. You can do your own research, but you cannot give benefit to people. When people ask you, how can you contribute to the society? You showing your papers, you showing your marks, you showing your achievement, you showing your awards, but nothing is benefiting the people. That's why UIA, UN right now is towards humanizing the education. We want to give the human the real essence of knowledge. Even though this is very small knowledge, maybe from your perspective is very small, but from the perspective of the local people, maybe they think this is very big and it can help them a lot. Okay, can you imagine like those machine has been constructed, has been designed previously in the previous lecture. We see a small machine that you can create. It can help or save energy and save cost, save time for the people to operate it. Like machine buat mihun, machine buat mie. This is very small in your eyes, but to the eye of the local people, this is very huge. Okay, this is very big. So that's why I'm saying going to the sixth blind person. Maybe you think that, okay, you are only looking at the tail part, but people are looking at the trunk part. So you are having a conflict of interest there. So we cannot solve the main issues. But if you able to step back and look, you know, make surgery, if you have glaucoma, for example, a cataract, so you fix the blind problem and then you can see the whole view. Okay, you remove all the barriers. All, whether you are scientist, non-scientist, you remove all this limitation, but go to the ground and then do the job. Even cleaning, even gotong-royong, whatever it is, you are the main person. Okay, you are those people who can do that. Previously, we have Bhakti Siswa. I know you might have Bapa Angkat, Ma Angkat. University have, you know, done this before, and we already, you know, some kind, you know, stop this for a while. Okay, but Bhakti Siswa is how we can go to a certain local area and then take you know them as a step, not step. Bapa angkat apa ya? Mak angkat in English? Foster, isn't it?
Foster.
Foster parent.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, foster. And then you can always go there. Like in Kuantan, we have IIM Kuantan, lots of areas in Pekan, lots of in Raup, you know, become our foster mother, okay, foster father, because we stay in their home and then, you know, help them for 3 days and then, you know, helping them in the daily chores and then try to harvest the plant, whatever it is, you know. So this is one of the things that we need to continue. We want to humanize the education. It can benefit the people. I think that's it for today. It's kind of summary for today's lecture. As for next week, I think we will have a quiz, and that can include today's lecture. Lecture for week 8, 6, 7, role of universities and role of institution, and then lecture 5. Okay, and I can consider that as a mid-semester test. We will start a week 10 lecture first for the first part, and then we continue for the midterm test. Okay, for the following week, for the week 11, maybe we need to go somewhere. Okay, we need to go someplace where all of you need to, I think it's inside our campus. I'll find one area that we can gather together and do some, not charity work, but something related to the sustainable development. Please remind me on that, and we will do that on after the week after next week. Okay, still on Tuesday in the morning, and you have to come to the campus if you're still in the campus. Are you all in the campus right now?
Yes.
Or
No, doctor.
some of you are not available?
Yes, doctor. I'm not in campus.
Some of you not in campus, right?
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
So you are not possible to have the physical face-to-face activity. Yes? Okay, never mind. So we will just proceed online. Okay, but you have to submit your reflective activities. If you got any question, you can ask me online. Okay, through the WhatsApp. Is there any question you want to ask me before we end the class?
Or is there another reflective writing?
Reflective writing, no reflective, but only the individual, I think, is in ITALIM. You know the individual paper? You will have the individual paper, right?
Yes.
Let me check your ITALIM now. Yes, it's already in ITALIM. You can open your ITALIM. It's the individual paper. The date of submission is 20th of January. Basically, write an essay on one challenge towards the sustainable practice observed in your society. It's only 5 pages, excluding cover and references. 5 means all the introduction, content, okay, paragraph, conclusion. All the formats I already put it there. Okay, there's no late submission accepted. So you have another 36 days and 14 hours to complete the assessment. If you can submit early, then I can give mark early. Okay, that's the first thing. Yes.
Is this the one that you said about assessment of making videos? Is it the same?
This is the different one, but making video is reflective exercise number 2. It's the vlog. Is also in your ITALIM. So for the vlog, I can advise you just maximum 3 minutes for a person to speak on personal experience on sustainable issues or practices. When I say personal experience, this can include, since you were born in this world up to now. Okay, not what you read or what you see in the YouTube, or for example. Okay, this is what you experience by your own, by looking at your local area, by looking at your campus. These should be in the video format. Okay, you need to upload it. You have another 25 days for that one. Okay, you can put some images, some moving pictures to illustrate this, and you have your voices on the background, or you can have side by side, or you want to only have your own face in front of it. Whatever it is, okay, this is all creativity. The more creative you are, of course, the more marks you will have. Okay, so this is just to see your effort on doing that. And of course, the experience is the main thing that I want to hear from you. Whether you're being chased by a stray dog, that's, that is the best. Okay, if you have issues, people come to you and asking for you for a certain solution regarding the environment, so this is more than welcome. Okay, you will get a good mark for reflecting your own experience. Okay, don't take from the internet. Okay, I want from your own self. The internet can be like a sources of reference if you want. Towards the end of the UNGS, you will present your SD project. So you need to be in your own group, write a proposal, and it should be 10 pages maximum. Put all the project background, okay, the slides. You need to present it to me during the presentation day. This is the according to the team, like group number 1, I already put it in the social sustainability team. Lots of social sustainability sustainability you can discuss. Economics, group number 2, group number 3, environments, and group number 4, spiritual sustainability. Okay, if you're having problem in addressing the issues, I can suggest that, for example, if you are having the spiritual, if you are in the group for spiritual sustainability, you can have the environment as a core theme. Okay, as in for you to help you to discuss the spiritual sustainability more. But the main for group 4 is the spiritual. You can have the social, you can have environmental, you can have economic as an accessory points. Okay, but not the main point. Same goes like group 3. The main point is the environmental proposal, but you can have the economic, spiritual, social as a core point. All right. So this, you have another 61 days and 14 hours to submit for the presentation, both the slides and also the written report or the written proposal. Any other question?
Doctor?
Yes.
Do we need to include or mention about SDG in the vlog?
Yes. Of course,
Okay.
because your UNGS 1201 is the sustainable development topic, issues, policies, and practices, right? So this should be integrated all the way through, not only from your reflective, but it's also individual paper, all the assignments, especially in the SD project.
So basically we have to do 4 things. First, quiz 2, and then vlog, video, and third is about the SD group, this one, the issue based on the theme, and the written proposal, right?
Yes. So 4 means SD project, individual paper, video, and quiz 2, okay, or midterm. But for the SD project, I would like to remind you that we have 2 assessments there, okay? One is proposal and one is PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so for the SD, there you have another 2 tasks inside it. Okay, for the groups, already put 6 people in each group. You can look into your iTalim. If you're not happy with the group, you can tell me. All right. If there's any issues, if you want to change the group, and give me the reason why you want to change, because each group must have at least 1 or 2 male student inside it, so become more sustainable. Okay, everyone. Any more question?
No.
Thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you again. We end the session by, do we start by Al-Fatihah today? No. I know the class is quite early in the morning and you might be very sleepy, but if you want to change the time where you have more energy, you can ask me. You can always change where you feel like maybe around 12, when you're very hungry, or maybe around 6. Yes?
The quiz will be conducted in MCQ or AC?
Same like the previous one. No essays.
Oh, okay.
Unless you request for the essay, I can do it now. You want essay? Maybe short essay?
Tak apa.
You want essay? Only 2 essays, okay. A and B.
Objective is fine, Doctor.
I don't know. I will consider the major opinion.
Okay, only like previous one, MCQ and also single choice, true or false, and no essays. Okay, because I know you have another commitment. I don't want to stress you out. How many questions you want for your quiz? 100. 20. Okay, we go for 20 questions. How long do you want to answer it? 1 hour? 1 hour for 20 questions?
1 hour and a half.
Yes.
1 hour, 1 hour.
1 hour?
Yes.
Okay. I will give you 1 hour for 20 questions, but if you want to submit early, just submit it. Okay, and you can just leave the iTalim, okay?
Okay.
All right, 20 questions and 1 hour. Next week, I'll see you, because we will start with the first half of the, like maybe 8 to 9, we'll start the week 10 lecture. After that, we continue the quiz. Okay, everyone? All right, we end the session by Tasbih Kafarah and Suratul Asr. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.